Hello beauties, welcome to Gems and Pearls with Love. This will be a cake with Kate video. And if you have been here for a while, you know what that means. When you see it in the title or you hear me say cake with Kate video, you know what I'm talking about. But because there are some new people and after all, it is a new year, I will just quickly explain when I say cake with Kate video. Basically, it's just a video that is very casual. There has been no notes made. I haven't pre-planned anything. It's just me chatting with you guys. It's a video where there's a good chance I'm not going to be looking at the camera at all times. I might be turning, doing whatever tasks that might be, whether that is office work, cooking, cleaning, whatever it is. Sometimes I am just sitting down, but it's a video that's going to give you a feeling of like you're coming over my house and we're just like chatting, just having a conversation, right? So it's not formal. You might hear background noises more than normal and there might be interruptions and it's just very like, yeah, just casual to say the least. So that is what I mean when I say cake with Kate video. If you see that in the title, you hear me say that, you know that you're going to be in for a casual, laid back video. So just want to say quickly that if you enjoy this kind of video, I have a playlist on my channel that is saying cake with Kate. So you know that is what to expect when you go to that playlist. All right. So sorry for those of you who already know that and heard that a few times. Thank you for bearing with me. So you're going to be coming with me while I do some filing, file some paperwork for the business. A very boring, not interesting task, but it has to get done nonetheless. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to talk with you guys about a little bit about social media. If you do not know already, I have been on a social media break. So I have an Instagram and a Facebook page. I have TikTok as well, but I don't use it very much. But anyhow, I have those pages, and I also have a personal Instagram. But I've been on a break since like before Christmas time. I decided to take a break from that. So, there's some things that I've noticed during this break, and I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's something that it may apply to you in your life, and you may want to take in consideration. You may want to take some time to pray about it. I don't know. I just feel like it's something that I really want to talk about. So just some things I've noticed about social media in general as well. Okay, so this is what we're going to be chatting about. 1 second. Makayla, I'm recording, okay, baby? Is that Josie yelling? Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. All right, just tell Josie I'm recording, please. I don't need him to be super quiet, but it would be good if they don't have to hear him screaming. Even though, again, it's cake with Kate video, and usually you'll know there's going to be some of that, but yeah. Anyhow, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so as I said, I've been on a break, and there are some things that I've noticed. So one of the things that I have noticed while I've been on a break is the fact that there has been a pressure that was on me that has been lifted. So this is not so much for my personal page. Like on my personal page, there's no pressure for anything. Like I could go however long without posting anything. It doesn't matter. It's just like mostly family and friends or whatever, right? So that doesn't matter. However, for my Gems and Pearls account now, you kind of feel like it cannot be too long from one post to another post. I mean, yeah, you want to be posting at least like typically every day, but maybe every other day. Maybe it's okay to do 3 times a week, but definitely not anything less than that, which is really different than YouTube, because YouTube posting once a week is fine. That's great. Like posting once a week. If I put a video out once a week, I'm happy. Social media pages, not so much. That doesn't feel like it's enough. July 2024. So, that pressure of feeling like you have to post not having that, it has been such a relief. Like, it just feels like a weight lifted off. And then on top of that, then not only do you have the pressure of posting, you have the pressure of engaging. Now, if you have an account that is similar to mine, and what I mean by similar, I mean just an account where you are posting for the sake of like encouraging people or something on those lines. I want to say influencer, but I don't, because I don't like to be called an influencer. I don't think I'm an influencer. I don't know what it is, what I have against that term. I guess because of what it's usually identified with nowadays. But anyway, just for the lack of better words, okay? If you have an influencer type of account, then you know that you need to engage. You can't just post, because it almost feels like selfish. Like, people are taking the time to come and post comment on your post. It almost feels like it's not right for you now to not comment on their post, right? So not only do you need to have the pressure of posting, you have to go and engage on their posts, because if you have that kind of account, you know that engagement is very important if you are trying to reach more people. So yeah, not having to have that pressure any longer of like, I need to post it. I need to post. Oh my gosh, I've been posting a week, 2 weeks. This is so bad. Or I need to go scroll to see like what are the other people posting so I can engage with them. Not to say I don't want to. I don't want it to sound like I don't want to. I enjoy commenting on people's posts, but you know what I mean? It's that pressure. It's different versus like you're just scrolling and then you comment on something versus feeling like I have to scroll so I comment on things. So having that pressure off, girl, it has been so good. You know, I'm kind of starting to realize that these two things, like trying to like read this, figure out what file needs to go in, and also talking to you guys is actually kind of hard. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause that and focus on you guys, and I can do that after. Because yeah, I'm getting a little distracted, and I have a feeling I'm going to lose my train of thought when I'm talking to you guys and end up rambling and repeating myself. And although it is a casual chat, it doesn't mean I want to do that. Okay, so yeah, so the pressure that has been gone and being off of social media. And another thing that I have come to realize is that I have so much more time. Like, I have been so productive in my home. Like, what the thing is that like spending time scrolling, whether it is because you were just bored and you feel like scrolling, or it's because of the fact that, like I said, you need to be trying to engage with other people, etc. That takes time. And that was time taken away from my home life, taken away from my family. And from the time that I've been off, I have been able to get so much things done. And that has actually, I feel like that has helped me to even be more joyful and feel better. Like, it has helped my mental health being able to be productive and know that I'm getting things done. Know that I have more time to plan really good, nutritious meals for my family. Knowing that I can even just be more present. Sometimes it's not even about the tasks, it's about just being present with your children. I'd be more aware of their needs. And like, okay, so I'll give you an example of that. So, so I have 5 kids in total, right? So the 3 older ones are teen to preteen ages. And then there's like a 5 to 6 year gap, and then I have 2 smaller ones. So the teen to preteen ones, like, if you don't know, I homeschool, like, right? So I homeschool / school at home. It's kind of complicated, but they do school at home. So because of that, they're with each other all the time, right? It's not like when you go to a regular, like, typical traditional school where they get that break from each other. They're with each other all the time. And just like myself, as a mom who absolutely loves and adores her children, loves to spend time with their children, needs breaks sometimes. I need time for myself to relax, to recharge. And I also need time with my husband, right? We do lots of daytime dates and do a lot of things together to spend time with each other. They also need a break. And I noticed that because of the fact that I was not distracted by my phone, I was able to be observant and realize that, they're getting a little bit like really irritable. That's what I realized. They were really irritable with them. And then because I noticed that, I was able to pull them aside and have a discussion with them and be like, I noticed that you're really irritable with them. And then one of them just said something that should have been common sense. They're like, I don't know, I just feel like we don't really get a break, or something like, no, actually, that's not what they said. Because my older kids go to something called teen night, but sometimes they can't get to go because of whatever would happen. And they're like, one thing I like about teen night is that we were able to get like a break from them. And I'm like, so that is what is needed. And then I started to implement where they would have breaks from them. So now, because I was not distracted and was able to observe then that need, have that discussion with my children, I now could go and make sure that need was met. So I arranged things based on the schedule that, okay, on Tuesdays, I'm going to be taking these two smaller ones somewhere, and you guys can like have that time where it's quiet and rest or whatever. And then on Fridays, if you do not get to go to your teen night where you normally get to go to, then you will still at least have a break. So even if that means going to your basement where the kids have their little lounge set up and playing board games or playing a video game or whatever it is, doing something where I'm going to make sure the other ones are distracted doing what they're doing, and you get that break. Or maybe they might go to the library, or they might enjoy the day, of course, or they might go to the park if it's like nice outside or whatever. They're going to have that time where they can have that break where it's just them, older children, and they can connect on that level or whatever. Maybe go out with friends, whatever. But the point is, they're going to have a break for the last like 2 times a week where there is for sure at least that break. And I was only able to realize that when I was no longer distracted with my phone constantly, thinking that every time I sit down and chill in, I have to pick up my phone, right? That's not social media's fault. That's a me thing. That is a me thing, right? But yeah, so, and then it's interesting enough because what would happen is that I'm logged off on the app. App's still on my phone, but I'm logged off. So there are times where I would, out of habit, and then it's funny because it's not till now I realize how much I do this, go and just press the app. And it's not till I see that I'm logged out that I remember I'm not supposed to be here. And then I come off the app. But it's that habit, just doing that, But anyhow, so I was able to be more present, be able to be more aware of the needs of my family. And I was able to I made a whole schedule for the kids. I was able to make memory verses and where the kids can remember. I was able to schedule myself. I was able to go and on my computer and type out and print, organizing my homemaking in a way that is okay, Monday is this and this and this and this is what's going to get done, right? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to assign this responsibility to you children, and you are going to do this. And then Tuesday, this is what's going to get done. Tuesday is going to be kitchen, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're just going to get cleaned out, etc. And then we have our monthly responsibilities where, okay, this is not every week, but in every month, we're going to do such and such. I'm just looking because I know it's starting to get a bit dark. I'm going to turn the light on. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I realized it was starting to get a bit dark. Yeah, so anyhow, I was able to, where was I? Yeah, so make okay, monthly, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we move the fridge out and make sure the fridge behind the fridge is swept and mopped. And just make all those plans. I think I already mentioned I was able to make memory verses for my children, right? And just being able to just have structure in the home, right? Because I'm a homemaker. And as I said here before, I believe as a homemaker, our job is to manage the home. That's what we do, right? Some people think being a homemaker is just cooking and cleaning. Cooking and cleaning is part of it, but it's not exactly what it's about. It's about managing your home. And yes, in order to manage your home, you need to make sure meals are made. You need to make sure your house is clean. But hey, there's some people out there and they outsource. They might have a cleaner come in. right? They might have, even if they can afford it, they can may have a cook, whatever. I honestly don't believe that makes you less of a homemaker, because being a homemaker is to manage the home. And being a homemaker, your presence in the home is more important than any of those tasks. If you're there like cooking and cleaning to the point that everything is spotless and you have like a 5-course meal for like every meal of the day, but yet still you are grumbling in your heart, you're miserable, you are not fully present, you're wishing you weren't there, it's going to be hard to really be that homemaker, a true homemaker. Okay, housekeeper is one thing. You can hire a housekeeper, you cannot hire a homemaker, right? So, and here's an example. Like, even so, this is a morning checklist that I made for my kids, where all the things that they need to have done in the morning before they go downstairs, they have to have obviously their toothbrush or face wash, obvious things like that. But then they also need to have their beds made up. I want to make them to make sure there's nothing left on their bedroom floor. So when they leave their bedroom in the mornings, go downstairs, their room is clean and stuff like that. And that helps them. So when they come back to their room, they have a nice clean room, right? We have zones where we set up zones and stuff like that. But anyhow, I'm going into a whole bunch of stuff. That is for like another time, when I'm just talking to you about homemaking stuff in general. But my point is that I was able to put in these systems, go on my computer, type these things out, print these things, talk to my children, have meetings, do all these things, because of the fact that I didn't have that distraction. So that is a big thing. I would say one of the biggest things that I've noticed being off social media for probably just only about a month. And then I would say the next thing I probably noticed being off of social media is that I think it's good that I've had less influence. It's interesting because, they call the people, even sometimes people would call someone such as myself that makes the content I make an influencer. And that's the thing. Social media is influencing the way you think. And a lot of people think, no, it's not. Yeah, if you are absorbing a lot of a certain amount of content, yes, it is. Don't get me wrong. That is not always a bad thing, especially if it's the right kind of an influence and right kind of content that you're observing. I hope my content would be one of those things. I definitely try for it to be. But then there's also content out there that can cause you to feel discontent with your life, feeling like you need things that you really don't need, feeling like your spouse is coming short on things because you're watching people doing whatever and the spouse is doing this, and then now all of a sudden you feel like your spouse is not doing enough, so just coming up short. What else? Yeah, like just being influenced in the wrong way. Like, maybe all of a sudden, like I've seen posts, I wish I could think of a specific example, but I've seen posts where people would say something like, oh, if your spouse is doing this and this, that means whatever, blank, fill in the blank. And it would be something negative. And then you start to think like, my spouse does that. I wonder if that's what this means. Like, it would be something even silly like, oh, if he says that he doesn't like this such and such coworker because she gets on her nerves, that automatically means that he has a crush on her, or he likes her, or he actually wants to stay with her, or something crazy like that. Is it a possibility? Yeah, I'm sure it's a possibility, but does that mean every single husband in the whole entire world that says this woman at my workplace gets on my nerves, it means that he wants to sleep with her? No, I'm pretty sure there's some situations where maybe she's really bossy, she's really always in everybody's business, and she is like a good 65-year-old woman, and your husband doesn't want to sleep with her, okay? He maybe just has no interest in doing that. But because of that thing being said, that seed has been sown now in your mind. And although you are responsible to uproot that and to reject that, still, I just don't like the fact that like when you scroll and you're going through your reels, especially, you can control what you see. And I don't like that. There's one thing that I did used to start doing though on my my main page, my main feed, I would put where it only shows me who I'm following. So that's good, because then you can only see the content from those you're following, which obviously if you're only following pages that are good and uplifting and encouraging and inspiring in good ways, then that's what you're going to see, right? But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like at the end of the day, it's not that some people have bad intentions or they want to do bad things, but there's just a lot of people some people are hurting, some people are just whatever, and it's a lot of information. Just in general, there's so much information coming in, and I do not believe that we were made to have so much information at once. And we see the negative effects of that. It doesn't take that much work to go online and do a quick search and see the effects, negative effects of social media. Again, I don't think it's all evil. And that's why I'm having a hard time, because of the fact that I actually enjoy making content. Like, I truly enjoy it. I have a hard time like going back and forth between wanting to make this break permanent. Because part of me feels like, oh my gosh, I've been so productive in my home. I'd be more present. I don't feel the pressure. And part of me feels like I want to make this break permanent. But then there's another part of me that's like, but I love to make content. And I know that, and I'm saying I know based on the messages and comments, etc., and people that will reach out to me through email and different means, that there's a lot of people that I've helped by the grace of God, through him being his vessel. There's a lot of people that has been helped through this page. So it's hard to like make it permanent for that reason. And I believe that if I were to go back though, it would definitely be in a different way. It cannot be the same way it was before. I don't know how I would go about it. It's something I'm praying about. But really, I share all this to encourage you to be very, very prayerful. Especially if you find, like, don't ignore that nudge. I think that's what I want to say to you. Don't ignore that nudge that you might have, because for a long time, I've had a nudge of like either come off completely or at the very least take a break. And I've been kind of ignoring it. Or if I took a break, it would be not something where it's like I felt like God was releasing me to go back. It's just I would just go back because I want to go. I just, miss making content or seeing stuff, whatever. And yeah, so it's been something that I've been ignoring. And I just believe that there's other people that are watching this that you have that feeling like there's something within you that has been battling as well, and you feel like you should come off, but you're like either you don't want to, or it's like there's something that's just holding you back. And I really think you should explore it and start with a break. You don't need to make any permanent decision right away. Start with a break and then see where it goes from there. As I said, I personally don't know what I'm going to do. I probably might be back, but I can tell you, as I said, it will not be in the same capacity as it was last time. I've seen too much good benefits for myself, my mental health, my family, to go back the way it was before. Social media can be really tricky. And I feel like it's weird because even though we know that these people like literally put up their tripods and set up the thing and press record, we know that it's like, I feel like we still don't really believe it, because we'll still end up like gushing over this couple or that's doing whatever, and not realizing that some of it is acting, a lot of it is acting. Not saying all of it is acting, because I know from experience, sometimes you might record yourself let's say you record yourself cooking, for example, or cleaning, maybe because you know that you're probably going to need this content, something to put some words on for a reel. So you might just go and you put the recorder on, and then a moment might just happen naturally. Like I've had that happen before, where I was recording myself or whatever, and then my husband came in, and then when I watched it back, I was about to delete it because I'm thinking, well, this is obviously not how the recording was supposed to go. But when I went back and looked at it, I realized that I was like doing these like heart eyes, in a sense, like gushing over my husband. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I shared it. Somebody could look at that and think that it was a setup, but it wasn't. It just happened. So I'm not here to judge people's intentions. Sometimes you just end up catching something cute happening. But Sometimes it is. It's like literally like, hey, you know, when I get this single, come over here and wrap your arms around me or do this and do that. And then we're there feeling like, oh, my husband doesn't do this. My husband doesn't do that. And it's not even real. It's not even real. And it's like, we know it, but do we really know? Like, do we know it? You know? But yeah, that's my little ramble. You know? So I just encourage you to really pray about it. If you've been having that nudge for 2025, you're feeling like, yeah, or whatever year, maybe you might watch this and it's way after 2025. Whatever it is, like, if you're feeling that urge of like, oh, it should come off, listen to that. And even as I said, just even take a break, start there. But yeah, like with my personal Instagram, I'm also off of it as well, but I don't mind going back. But if I did, I wouldn't be the same way again, just because I find that it's a scrolling that you will scroll and you'll think, oh, this is whatever. And then you scroll again and then you scroll again. And before you know it, you've wasted so much time. Right. So yeah, that's my experience. That is what I have come up with and what I have noticed about being off of social media that I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you been contemplating social media and coming off of social media? I heard that TikTok got banned. Like my sister told me, because I'm not even on anything, so I didn't know. But I heard TikTok got banned in the US, and I know a lot of you guys are from the US. What do you think about that? Anyways, let me know. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Again, if you like this kind of video where I am just casually chatting with you guys, go in my playlist, Cake with Kate, and you will enjoy those videos too then. All right, until next time, bye-bye. Oh, sparkle like the gems of wisdom that you got. Bye-bye.